What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and today we're going to be checking out the Columbus Blue Jackets ahead of the NHL trade deadline. Now, I've been doing this for every single team, so if you want to check out the other teams that I've done so far, I'm doing this in alphabetical order, of course, before the NHL trade deadline on February 25th. So today is the Columbus Blue Jackets, and again, my dog is barking in the background. I apologize, but the Columbus Blue Jackets are currently sitting in third in the Metro Division. They have 65 points currently, and again, I'm recording this on February 12th at around 5 p.m. So if something changes, I can't predict the future, but as we all know, Columbus has been in the trade rumors like crazy lately. So let's take a look at their cap friendly right now. They have their first round pick this year. They don't have their second. They have their first for the next upcoming years in 2020 and 2021, as well as both their second round picks as well. The biggest thing is Artemi Panarin. He's a UFA. Of course, that's been one of the bigger things, and we'll get to it. They have some restricted free agents, including Anthony Duclair, who's actually looked pretty decent for them. Ryan Murray is a RFA as well. We got Zach Werenski, who's going to be due for some big money. Sergei Bobrovsky, of course, in goal is a UFA, and Jonas Korpisalo is an RFA. So they've got some pretty significant deals to get done, but they should have over $30 million in cap space, and of course, if they make a trade, they could have more. But right now, they have $6 million in space. Columbus is in a really tough spot. So you have basically a franchise-type player in Artemi Panarin, who just recently switched agencies, and his agent to be with Sergei Bobrovsky, who is also a unrestricted free agent. Two guys, your starting goaltender, even though Korpisalo is quite good as a backup, and a scorer that can just score the lights out. And before the trade deadline, you have no confidence in the fact that they're going to stay with the team, because I hate to break it to Columbus fans, but it almost looks like it's just a given that Panarin and Bobrovsky are gone. They are not going to be staying with the Columbus Blue Jackets in the offseason. So this brings up an interesting topic where before the trade deadline, a team that's in third in their division, you know, poised to be in the playoffs and be a pretty scary team because they are pretty good, got a good blue line, they got some depth up front scoring. What are they going to do? Are you going to trade Panarin and Bobrovsky to see what you can get? Now, I think that it's easier for them to trade Bobrovsky, and a lot of people say, whoa, what are you talking about? Korpisalo is a pretty good goaltender, and he's done well. I've seen Columbus Blue Jackets fans even suggest that he just play most of the games anyways, that he's been a pretty good option. But with Panarin, it's difficult because he is a scorer that can just, again, like, he can steal games. Same with Bobrovsky, but like Panarin can really, really score. And, you know, he's 27 years old. Like, this is a guy that you want to stick with this team. But all signs are pointing that both of them may end up in Florida. Now, there also are some rumors we've heard from TSN multiple times that Panarin and Bobrovsky could get dealt before the trade deadline to Florida for picks, roster players, prospects, anything you could think of, because those are two big names. You're not just getting one star, you're getting two at once. So people have suggested Huberdeau plus a couple, like a first, a second, a top prospect, maybe Hoffman, like giving up the farm. People are saying, oh, well, Reimer will have to go the other way, but that means they're taking on salary. Like, this would be a monster trade. And me personally, I don't think it's going to happen. If one of them gets dealt, sure, maybe that could happen. I don't believe that both will be traded at the exact same time, because I think that the package would just be insanely huge unless Columbus is at the deadline and goes, well, you know, we could really use these pieces. They can still help us get into the playoffs, because if you add a guy like Huberdeau, and again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if you add guys that can play right now, you add futures, you know, this is a team that could do some really good things still in the playoffs. Like, they've still got a good blue line. They still got good offense. Of course, Atkinson, Dubinsky, Foligno, Wenberg. They've got a lot of really good players. Josh Anderson, Pierre-Luc Dubois. Like, I'm just naming guys that fit into their depth, too. Like, of course, Seth Jones on their blue line. David Savard's been a pretty good defensive defenseman for them. Werenski, of course, is a stud. And Korpisalo as their goaltender. And they would still have significant cap that in the summer that after they sign their RFAs and UFAs, whoever they need to get done, even without Bobrovsky and Panarin, you could still go into free agency and probably add. Players would probably want to play in Columbus, although you are losing two guys that are big pieces of your franchise. I don't think it's too crazy right now to think that Columbus could trade both of them, But at the same time, I find it so hard to believe because I think people sometimes skip the business side of hockey as well. Like, you're going into a trade deadline and you're convincing your corporate sponsors, management, the owner of the team, season ticket holders that, okay guys, listen, we know Panarin and Bobrovsky are really good and we're about to go into the playoffs, but we've got to trade them. Like, sometimes people will back off and go, whoa, like, does this mean we're going to kind of fall off of this? Are we not going to make that playoff money? Because playoff revenue, oh boy, you make a lot of money in the playoffs. People don't understand. You make a lot of money. You make money off of merchandise, ticket sales, of course, like everything. Promotions, advertisements. You make tons of money in the playoffs. It happens in every sport. So unless all those people are on board as well, then okay, sure, like that makes sense. But if they're not, then you're also having to deal with the business side of it. Now, I think no matter what, you're going to get back roster pieces as well for Panarin and Bobrovsky, or even one of them. So I still think they'd be fine, but it's so risky. And I think a team like Florida would probably benefit from just signing them in the offseason, unless they're worried about other teams getting there first to talk to them. But we don't even know if they would sign instantly with Florida. So this is going to be interesting. Again, I could go on for days, but of course, as we go on towards the trade deadline, we'll hear more and more, and I'll probably update it. But I wanted to do some of the talking in the Columbus Blue Jackets trade deadline preview. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. Make sure to click that notification bell. And if you like music, check out my reaction channel called Andrew Piluk. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.